You ever find yourself asking what God wants you to do for a job? I know I have, and I've struggled with that a lot in my life, and because of that, I've learned a few things, and I wanted to share them with you. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this short video. My name's Evan Herrman, and I'm the host of this YouTube channel where we talk about what it means to have personal growth with a biblical mindset. There's a lot of gurus out there, a lot of fake teachings, a lot of things that sound good to the head but wrong for the heart. And so we talk about what it means to have biblical personal growth here in this channel. So if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and give me that little ring-a-ding-ding bell notification so that you will be alerted when new videos come out. That and it helps us rank and beat the YouTube algorithm so that more people just like you can find this video. Now, let's jump right into it. So you're here because you want to know what God wants you to do for a job as a career. And I have often found myself asking that question consistently. You know, when I was 7 years old, I wanted to be a pastor. And so I grew up my entire life chasing this goal of being a pastor. And then when I became an adult, I couldn't get hired on at a church. Then I finally worked at like 4 churches. And I couldn't ever last long because there were church plants and then they didn't work out. And it just seems like this idea, this dream job that I had never worked out. So what do you do with that? What I learned is I was asking myself the wrong question. I said, God, what do you want me to do for a job? But really God was saying, Evan, you need to ask yourself the right question. It's not so important what you do as much as it is important for you to learn who you're supposed to be. And so what I realize is for you, for me, it's not so much important as what you do for a career, but as to what kind of person that you are. So what kind of person has God called you and I to be? In Galatians 5, verse 22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. What would our lives look like if we fully took on the fruits of the Spirit, where we could live our lives full of peace, full of joy, full of patience, forgiveness, understanding, and just straight up kindness? That's more important than what you do. So in terms of importance, who you are is more important than what you do. So you're struggling still with, okay, well, God, what do I do as a career now that I'm working on myself as a person? I would suggest that you write down 15 jobs, 15 ideas of things that you'd like to do. And then just bullet point them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you do that, then just kind of audit your giftings. All right, so this job would require this skill or this gifting. And then write down what kind of giftings that job would take. And then on another sheet of paper, think about what you're gifted at. Are you good at speaking? Are you good at teaching? Are you good at counseling? Are you good at fixing a car? Are you mechanical? Are you analytical? Are you a leader? Are you a follower? And then once you find your giftedness, once you find your personality and how you operate and think, then start aligning those to potential career opportunities. And then narrow it down to what you think is best. But ultimately what it comes down to is making a decision and being led by peace. If you're not led by peace for a career, then find a career where you feel that there will be peace in. Because ultimately, regardless of how many amazing dream jobs that there might be, if you get in it and you're not happy and you don't have peace, then you're not in the right place. So make sure your career, whatever you choose, that you have inner peace. Because the thing is when things get bad, are you going to bail if that's what God has called you to be? And inner peace will let you know you're in the right spot. So pursue inner peace in whatever vocation you're in. The other thing I would recommend in terms of finding out what God wants you to do is simply ask some of your closest friends. Like, hey, what giftings do you think I have in my life? Just be honest, be like, hey, I'm really struggling. I want to do something more important in my work life, and I'm struggling to find out what I'd be good at. So, friend, what do you see? What giftings in me do you think I would be good at doing? And just call 4 or 5 people that you trust that understands your heart, and that you can take notes. And by taking notes, then you can do an inventory. Not everything that they're going to say is going to be true and accurate, but then you take that and you weigh it to the Spirit of God and what God is telling you. And you might find something in there that's eye-opening. Here's a perfect example. I was debating for myself whether to buy a podcast for $50,000 or to start my own. If I bought this podcast for $50,000, it was already a mildly successful podcast and was making money. If I started one for my own, then I'm starting from scratch. And I had to weigh this. And at the end of the day, I wanted to buy one because I didn't feel comfortable with starting one on my own. But all my friends and all my family said, hey, Evan, start one. You're good enough. Don't try to go after someone else's audience. Make your own audience. And so I decided to do that. And I'm so glad I did, because when COVID happened and things shut down, I did not have overhead of having to pay someone for a podcast, because the way that they paid for it is because they ran events that people would come to. And when events shut down, money shut down. And so for me, it actually saved me quite a lot of heartache from saying no to that and starting something on my own. But the reason why I was able to do that is because I listened to the closest people that said, Evan, we really believe you should start this, versus being fearful of not being able to do it and have the ability. So in this video, I hope you learned that it's more important who you are than what you do. That's the first tip. The second tip that's really important is that you are to be led by the peace of God and to have the fruit of the Spirit. The third tip is taking inventory of your giftings, your skills, your abilities, and the careers, and then match them and see where they intersect. And then the fourth tip is to ask your closest friends and family members that you trust with your heart that would be able to give you good advice. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you'll be alerted when more videos come out in the future. Take care, God bless, and keep growing.